over 2 hours of Dota, not picking up a single game yet. 0-2 in the group stage, and now they stand on single elimination. DC stand against them, and it is time for their first game. To guide you through the action, it's going to be the voices of Winter and LD. Enjoy.
Well, Winter, not a whole lot of surprises for one man as far as that draft goes as we get ready for our opening match of the day, DC versus Faceless. As soon as you saw the Chen pick, you said Dragon Knight, you said Terrorblade. They went for both. If you can read them that well, do you think DC saw this coming too?
Yeah, probably. It's a very straightforward push strat. I was kind of a bit of tossing up Morphling or Terrorblade because I know Black likes to play Morphling, but they went for the push at the end of the day. So you're going to be able to apply more pressure against the enemy team. But DC went for a great last pick though. LC is very good against Terrorblade and is also very good at initiating on the Tidehunter.
Well, we might be quite far away from Southeast Asia, but a decent Faceless contingent here, I have to say, on more of DC's home turf, I guess you would expect. So nice to see the fans here bright and early in Boston. We get underway. Opening match of the day. As usual, it will be an elimination best of 3. Overall thoughts on the series. Faceless has looked very shaky coming in. There was a lot of hype about this team after their performance in some online Southeast Asia matches, but ever since they came to the Summit 6, they seem to really be struggling.
Dude, it's all your fault.
Did we slip something in their food?
It's all your fault, your event, you know. You made them swap their roles, X, Y, and Nuts now.
The fix is in, Winter.
One is on, it was XY playing the 4 role before at your event, and now he's playing the 5 role. And Nuts will be on the Chen.
I will say one of their ways to relax was, you know, a little CSGO, and perhaps the results in there had some influence on the role swap.
Oh, sure, you're blaming it on CSGO
Black was louder. Black was louder in their CS than he was in the Dota. I'll say that much.
DC have the Undying, so they have the control of the runes, and they're gonna smack themselves to both the runes here. Good play by DC using the Undying pick to just secure the other rune.
And that early bully action. So, looking at the lanes, we are going to see Nuts. It looks like heading back to his own jungle for the time being. Does have an early smoke picked up. Helping a bit with the mid block. Yeah. But thoughts on the Chen pick this game, the way DC is playing against it? They have not actually blocked his camps. They did get a ward down to scout his movements, though.
Yep, I was gonna go to that. So basically, because they didn't block off the camps, but they have a ward here, they're gonna be able to scout out the Chen if he moves. But the thing is, there's only one ward on the left side. Oh, top lane, maybe we might see action here. Misery running in from the side.
Yeah, Moon Meander playing rather aggressively with the statue, but it has the help of Misery, as you mentioned. So, see if Nuts wants to make any kind of early movements. For now, all his progression through the jungle being scouted, so they know he's in the neighborhood. Yeah, it's not really the easiest lane to gank. They are quite tanky.
He needs to decide whether he wants to help the top lane or the bottom lane. Like he needs to make a move. You can't play that passive farming Chen.
Meanwhile, Ice getting bullied here in the bottom lane, even with the 1-pointing Kraken shell. Already forced to salve up.
Yep, and the lane is pushing for him though, so this is not that great. He needs to be able to hit level 3 for him to stay in the lane very well. And top lane, the Chen is moving in with the Shadow Demon Disruption to start.
Let's see if they're gonna make that jump. Black has not taken a skill point yet. Could go into the Metamorph.
He could also go for the Reflection if he feels that they need a slow to set up. But I think overall, look, it really has to rely on what Nuts gets on his Chen. Like, he needs very good creeps for this gang to work.
Yeah, for now, just the War of Attrition. The Harpy Stormcrafter, probably the most annoying creep right now for constant harass along with the Satyr Blast.
Right. The Chen needs to get a kill for his team soon. Look, if you look at the CS across the board, this is really, really bad for FL. Like, Faceless lanes are not going too well.
The one lane that is going well, Jab's having a very good time on the Dragon Knight, already 10-3, and Weeha only 4-3, but generally those early levels for Invoker Winter, that's where he tends to struggle a bit.
And by the way, dude, I've been watching a lot of games where players are doing really well on DK. Even yesterday there was a game, DK versus Timbersaw. You should have a bad time in that matchup, but still, players are getting better at using that brief fire, you know, to get more last hit and make it very difficult for the opponent to get last hits in the laning phase. So.
Yeah, the damage reduction 35% at all levels, so even that early single point can make a big difference.
But still, like you say, Invoker is weaker at the first few levels. Eventually, he's going to catch up, being able to farm the jungle. But the main concern for Faceless is the top lane and bottom lane.
No one expects the early Time Hunter. Courier snipe. He's got 10 seconds here to kill it off. It's gonna walk right into his waiting arms. Ice, one more swing. He'll bring it down, snipes the Courier, and gets Faceless on the board. Their ward winter is designed to keep eyes on the ancients, but as a result, they did not see this movement.
Yep, this is a pretty good ward, honestly, for Tide, because you want to see him scouting. Unfortunately, it doesn't scout him picking up that rune, and their supports didn't really scout out the rune before as well, so there was not much Weeha could have done about it without the information. Top lane, going in with disruption.
Well, Metamorph is available, a little Hadouken, but Moon Meander very fast with the overwhelming odds. Not an easy kill lane, and the other thing is they can't easily push in either.
Like if you go on the LC, he's gonna be healed up by Misery on the Undying with the Soul Rip, so it's very difficult to kill. And Undying with the decay stacks on him is also not an easy target. Like I feel like the Chen should be trying to help elsewhere. Maybe the bottom lane to start off would be a good choice for him. But right now he's not accomplishing much. In throughout the lanes, all the lanes are not going too well. Terrorblade is not free farming. That is a huge problem for the hero.
Yeah, and in the mid lane, Weeha is catching up now as he gets the third point and Exhort. Last hitting gets easier. Aquila now complete. All of a sudden, he's hitting for about 100 a pop with every auto attack.
I mean, despite the fact that Invoker has a weaker first few levels, but I think the main reason DC picked up the Invoker is to have that Sunstrike threat, Like maybe without the Sunstrike threat, Ice at the bottom lane, he's allowed to play more aggressively, run up and try to harass. But because there's Sunstrike on the field, he feels the need to be much more passive on the lane.
And bear in mind, they have great setup for Sunstrike this game. The lift, the Lucent Beam just to give someone a bit of extra lockdown, and then the duel most importantly. So they have plenty of ways to find kills. And along with that, Moon Meander, he is getting his levels in the off lane. Already 4 in the duel lane.
He's getting more than levels. Very, very good farm as well.
17 CS. That is a lot for an off-lane
Legion. The has to get an Iron Talent. Okay, he has an Iron Talent.
Oh, he has stepped up a little bit. Moon Meander a bit too far, and now the clap's going to come through after the disruption. They even commit the Metamorph, but Moon Meander very tanky with the poor man shield. I don't even think they can bring him down, only to half health. He ran into all 3, and not even close to going down there.
Poor man shield plus press the attack there. Misery not in the lane, but they still couldn't really kill him. That is huge problems for the Chen. 5 minutes into the game, the Chen has not accomplished anything apart from right now trying to push the tower.
On the other side, you've got DC aggressively trying to push down the tier 1 bottom. Tombstone gets dropped. They don't even need the Sunstrike. DC going to find an easy kill there. Weeha just continue to farm up mid. Now Jabs can look to apply a little bit of counter pressure. He's chipping away at this tower.
This is really, really bad for Faceless. They used their Metamorphosis. They didn't get a kill. They couldn't pressure the tower because LC is able to have a good amount of deep push with his overwhelming odds. This is not looking good for Faceless at all in the lane. Oh, Ice is getting lifted.
Just TP's back in. They do have a very high level Lucent Beam, already level 3. It's about a third of Ice's health, it feels like. Sunstrike could finish it off. They do maintain vision on him for now.
He's not trying for the Sunstrike, but meanwhile...
Not yet. You gotta think he's gonna give it a shot.
They TP'd Jabs in on the Dragonite and didn't really get any kills.
Ice is so worried about the Sunstrike.
Oh, is it coming?
He's still juking around. Finally gonna limber back while Misery. But maybe get eyes on him, go for that K kill.
I was quite surprised they did not actually land the Sunstrike earlier. With the lift and the short stun from the Lucent Beam, that should give them more than enough time to land the Sunstrike.
They're seeing if he's being greedy.
Well, they're scanning.
Then you Sunstrike.
Yeah, that's a good point. They probably could have scanned right around the base and land the Sunstrike.
Either way, they don't need that kill. I mean, I think that's the real point here. DC, they've shut down the early Chen Shadow Demon push, so now Faceless, I don't know if you would call it Plan B Winter, but they're not getting that early tier 1 that they normally look for. Where do they go from here? What's the next big timing that they can look forward to, or do they even have one in the near future?
The next Dragonite ulti, they have to use it with a smoke gank from on the supports or the Tide Ravage, but Tide Sunstrike, I hear a Sunstrike.
Moon Meander almost at duel. He ran right into black. He was still level 5. Now he has it, so the next time he runs in, that could be an easy kill.
But still, like, considering everything that happened, despite not getting that kill on the Tide, DC are in great shape right now, and they will be the first ones making the move with Luna Ultimate. So, Faceless, I said, they need
Faceless making a move of their own, though. Onto the top lane, they're going to find Moon Meander. Disruption comes through. Black does have access to Sunder. Not going to need to use it. The chain stun from the Centaurs comes out. Actually will Sunder in the end, but kill secured. Faceless grab an important one.
Jabs might be caught out here.
Resolution does have that nighttime vision, but
He's moving to join his team at top lane to secure the tower.
and in doing so, he will dodge the gank Saxo was looking for.
But still, DC, if DC can actually get a trade-off here, 1-for-1 tower, that would be super good for them, like very ideal.
There is a glyph available for both teams.
They're sending Saxo up top to slow the push with his Fate Bolt, and the rest of the team is allocated mid to secure the tower. They have 2 heroes here to de-push. The LC plus the Rubik, and XY is looking for initiation to stop them from trying to drag the creep wave away.
Well, Glyph now committed as Jabs is going to rotate. They don't have the Ravage yet on Ice, unfortunately. Did struggle a bit in the off
Power
lane.
deny, can I get it?
And no!
Gosh!
No such luck. Even with 2 heroes there in tandem, unable to do so.
That was huge, Gorman. That was absolutely huge for DC right there, getting that kill on the tower. Faceless
It means a faster Midas here for Weeha.
Faceless really not getting a break at all, but at the very least they got the last hit on the tower at top. XY got the last hit. And they're gonna smoke up. They have to get a kill somewhere. They need to keep the pressure on. Like DC is getting way too much out of the early game.
And you can already see that the Terrorblade Illusion is not going to be that effective in at least the early to mid game against this Legion commander.
They have a very good heroes to clear out the illusions.
And late game, you've got the Glaives. Fade Bolt even, quite irritating. So Faceless do group up, try to shove in this mid lane a little bit.
They do have their Ravage up, so if they want to fight around the Ravage, that's possible for them right now. They need to secure as many towers as they can with their big cooldowns. The Ravage and the Metamorphosis are really big cooldowns for Faceless, so every time they pop it, they have to get a tower, they have to get like, objective like Roshan or win a team fight, and DC not gonna let that happen too easily. They're gonna defend.
Looking for the duel in the mid lane, but the Dragon Tail interrupting Moomiander's movement forward as XY tries to find a setup. He does jump onto Misery. No Demonic Purge just yet. They able to convert that into a kill, but all the while DC, they already took down the tier 1 top, so that makes now all 3 outer towers down for Faceless. Meanwhile,
this is
DC only lost 1.
This is bad. They have the Chen and the Dragon Knight. This should be the other way around. They should be taking the towers and defending their towers. But Jab's gonna get his rune snapped away by...
They do find Moomiander. They're ready here, prepping with the Sentry. They'll drop it down, but Moon, quite tanky. And they just can't bring him down. He's gonna heal himself back up with the press the attack. And we'll be able to walk away. Faceless again being denied. The Dire Courier, meanwhile, getting sniped.
Wow, that was a lot of gold inside.
And it had the Helm of Iron Will on it.
Oh my god.
Just nothing really going their way since that early Ice Courier snipe. It's been
that was even
quietly but thoroughly all DC all the way.
That was such a bonus. You can't really expect that to happen. And apart from, I think the reason why everything was bad for FL in the early game was because the Chen hasn't, made a lot of ganks happen. He moved to top lane, but like I mentioned, top lane was a very difficult lane for him to kill.
And they couldn't push either, so he just didn't really get anything done.
Yep, that's why I suggested probably going to the off lane would be like how Navi plays their Chen. You go to the off, you grab a creep, you go to the off lane, you help the off laner right away. What he did this game was he grabbed a creep and he went to his safe lane.
There's also more gank paths there, more ways to flank behind the tower.
You could pressure the mid as well if you're doing that. That's the beauty of going to the off lane first. But right now,
it was a Quas Exort Invoker who didn't really have any help, so he's pretty gankable at those early levels. But that is all behind Faceless now as DC by themselves on the offensive. They have a stolen Dragon Tail to combine with the lift. Saksa, very long lockdown, and expecting some ancient shenanigans from Faceless. Not the case just yet. But they move in. Dire Scan just barely clipping Moon as he squirms
still
through.
Go down here.
Ice. I'm not sure he was paying attention. He stuck around, and now the Lucid Beam going to hit him. He will commit the Ravage. Is he going to TP out, or does his team try to come and fight way too far away?
He's still dead.
Into the tree, so Ravage down.
That was a bad Ravage there.
And a Sunstrike will mark not only the kill, but also the 280th duel victory for Moonmeander.
He was at the same time trying to make sure that Rubik doesn't steal his Ravage, so he had to spend like half a second to cast that anchor, so it didn't give him a lot of time to try and get away with from the LC.
Well, or you could just not Ravage.
I mean, he was like, I don't want to give him dual damage. Oh god, we had denied the tower.
Oh my god. Two trains crossing paths in the night here, but it seems the Faceless one about to get derailed. They'll send home Jabs. Armlet is coming. Nuts nowhere near a mech, it looks like.
I mean, going back to how Faceless is going to be able to... Oh, Eclipse bottom lane?
Not done just yet. Ice trying to shimmy away, and he will survive, so at least the Eclipse committed. Sunstrike, though, looking for the kill. Won't find it. But if they want a 5-man Winter, it's not going to be too easy. They don't have a mech on nuts. He's still not level 6 at 13 minutes as a Chen.
They have to rely on their big Ice. Well, he's toying with them, He's really toying with them. But Faceless has to, group up and use their big cooldowns. They have to get themselves back into the game through using their big abilities to get objectives, win a team fight. But Moonmeander here trying to get a duel. Oh, he's gonna get it!
Oh, he finds Jets too, and this is without the armlet. Easy takedown. Duel number 2. Another winner for Moon.
Such good movement here by DC moving around the map. The only criticism I can have for them is not using the Sunstrike with the Rubik lifts earlier, but they are using it really well with the LC duel, securing him another duel victory right there, and another tower against the Chen Terrorblade lineup. This is what you do not want to happen if you're Faceless. You should be the ones pushing the tower. You want to be the ones pushing the towers.
And on top of not only taking that tower, DC now going to take over the stack of Faceless, using the Forge Spirits here in tandem with Resolution. God. They're going to steal the whole stack, Winter. Tombstone gets dropped on the high ground. Faceless, how do they even move in? There's no Ravage ready. The Ancient's quickly being brought down, and Moon threatening to come back in. He's going to have a duel soon. Sunstrike at the ready. They get the lift off onto Ice. Nearly dead just from that. Continues to be forced back. They can send him home, and in the meanwhile, Sunstrike coming in. There's the disruption to save him. Should by the time he needs to get away. He will go poof, but the Ancient's already cleaned up. Can they turn this? Oxalo, not dead just yet. Has stolen the Test of Faith, tries to make it out. Looks like he'll survive. The trade, though, is misery on the Undying, so they lose the Undying. Tombstone now down, and DC definitely going to want to retreat here.
Yep, if only they had Eclipse on Resolution, they would have definitely taken that fight. But still on cooldown for 30 seconds, so that allows Faceless to be able to win that fight, even though they didn't really have Ravage up yet. They just got it up, so to see what Faceless decides to do with their cooldowns right now. They are trying to get Roshan.
Yeah, Eclipse down for a little bit longer, I suppose, and Undying just respawning.
They have a TD on Jabs.
And with the armlet, this is a lot of bonus damage for him, hitting nearly 300 per auto attack. Black committing to the Metamorph here. They're going to go for the Roche. Looks like so far, there's a contest from DC. They're just pushing out the other lanes, but already BOT's up on Weeha. You've got Resolution farming very well.
Look at what Darrow's doing. His team is doing Roshan. He's all by himself at the bottom lane.
Well, is he though? Or our friends just around the corner?
He was alone just now. There were no friends in sight, but because he was playing so aggressively, DC were like, oh, they might be around him, but then again, it's Ice, so you never know.
Or maybe he'll just be alone and ravage your whole team and try to run away.
If you see someone like Burning farming like this, you know he has backup. But if you see someone like Ice doing that, you're like, is he actually alone? Or maybe not.
Mind games.
Yeah, the mind games that's allowing his team to... Even though DC weren't really going there to, contest the Roche, but it was still good play by the offlaner to make sure that the enemy doesn't know what your team is actually doing. Are they behind you? Are they doing something else? You keep them guessing, so it allows his team to safely secure the Roshan.
So Winter, boost in momentum here for Faceless. They're still down about 5,000 gold, 3,000 experience, and I think it's about time we start talking about how the teams match up heading into the mid and the late game. How do you feel Faceless can fare, given they're obviously not hitting the early push timing they wanted? Do they have a plan B?
Yeah, pretty good late game with the disrupt on the Terrorblade illusions. DK somewhat decent late game, and Tidehunter. I think Tidehunter is great late game because of the fact that when the BKBs go down to 5 seconds and you hit their refresher timing, Tide will be extremely strong. But, Misery is going to get initiated here by Jabs on the stun. Gush followed up by Ice. He has
very tanky though.
Yes, Max, so that is not an easy kill at all for Faceless.
Yeah, did not want to blow a Ravage just for that kill.
The Ravage is like one of their spells right now. If they use it, they have to get bare minimum 2 kills or objectives. They can't use it,
or at least a core. Just can't be getting a support on
They can't just use it to kill supports, or like what Ice did in the bottom lane to get away, to not give away the dual damage. Right now, they are not in a very favorable position. They have to get a lot from their big ultimates. And Rubik here gets a steal. He gets the stun. A pretty good steal for him. Right now, what's interesting to see is what is Moonmeander gonna go next. Is he gonna transition into a much more initiator, or he wants to go for like a more carry, with a Shadow Blade, which allows him to maybe build into the Silver Edge. That's really good against the Tide later on.
Yeah, even the Dragon Knight as well.
Yeah, that too.
Faceless grouping up under cover of smoke. At the same time, the DC are mirroring that movement. They head towards top for Digital Chaos, and Faceless trotting down to the bottom lane. But there's a tier 1 here, so that should be an easy grab.
That was like good play by DC. Wow.
Unfortunately, not an easy last hit.
What?
Weeha with the Forge Spirit
Dude,
Tower deny. That's now 2 for him.
3 for him if you count the last hit that he got on the tower in mid lane, where FL was trying to deny the tower and he managed to get the last hit against 2 heroes.
It doesn't lead to a lot of blood on the field, but it's a big swing in gold. Probably about 2k net worth overall.
DC just making the right movements. They know this black was at the bottom lane before and they know they have Aghanim, so they do not want to fight into them, so immediately they move to top. They're keeping all the lanes pushed out. This is what you want. This is what you want when you're not gonna fight the enemy. You keep the lanes pushed up and resolution, pressuring the top tier 3 tower, forcing the glyph out of Faceless.
Simultaneously, Faceless do take down the tier 2, so they match what DC already did, and finally they'll get the last hit uncontested.
Finally.
A little gold for them.
Getting last hit on towers, yeah?
They do have Blink Ravage now. Maybe they could find a setup here. This could be huge for Ice Ice Ice. It is only a level 1 Ravage. Gotta be careful.
Did they have
about the
vision
Rubik
on Ice before? So do they know about the blink?
I don't think so.
Yeah, they probably don't. This could be big for Faceless.
But look at the positioning of Misery. This is A, the worst hero to jump on, and B,
and look at
he's unlikely to even get caught. Breaks the smoke,
Luna
backs away.
pushing the lane as well, so it makes it very difficult for Faceless to make a move. They need to get their lanes pushed out. When you want a 5-man, the most important thing for you is to make sure you get all the lanes pushed out, then you're able to 5-man. But if the lanes are not pushed out, then it becomes very obvious when you're trying to make a smoke play, make a rotation. It becomes very easy to guess for the opponents.
So Faceless gonna have to slow things down here for the moment. They are closing in, finally. Nuts getting nearer and nearer. That Chen Aghanim Scepter simultaneously. We do see Black up to 2,300 gold, so it could be the completed Manta for him.
Oh, so they actually totally forgo the mech. No one actually built the mech on the Faceless side.
Perhaps Ice 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 could go back for it, but at that point, is it even worth it?
Not sure if he still wants to go for it or he's going to opt for something like a 4-star, more mobility items. You want to have mobility items against like the Rubik Leaf since you are going to be able to remove the Leaf duration if you get a 4-star on your teammate.
You can see the overall tenor of the game here with all the tower denies and last hits, the constant farming for the Invoker, who by the way has carried more than his fair share of games as a single core Invoker going into the late game. And in this case has a Luna and a Legion to back him up. BC do continue to pull a bit farther ahead. They're even going to start to pressure the mid lane, grouping up the whole squad, rotating into position now. And they're going to let Resolution be the man in front. Already not only Manta complete, but an Ogre Club to go along with it. Out farming the enemy Terrorblade for now.
They're just starting to push once the Aegis is gone. So DC feeling they're much stronger than their opponents right now. But still, if you look at their heroes, they are pretty close to their Aghanims on Invoker though, and they might want to consider having it.
Who's going to get the good initiation though? Moon has a blink, but at the same time there's the disruption with Aether Lens on XY and Ice 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 with his own blink.
You don't really want to make a first move on Legion unless you get the type.
They could go for it. Jax leaping in over the top, tries to find Resolution. Then the Ravage comes through, but Soxa with the steal, looking for the counterplay. He finds them all! Beautiful turn by Soxa, and then the follow-up by Ice Ice Low. The Tombstone doing its work. Misery forcing the back. Faceless though, surviving towards Black Lady with the damage. The Terrorblade gets to work. It's a triple for him. It's likely to be a quad. Misery with the TP out. He won't make it. Faceless slamming the door and winning through a stolen 4 or maybe even 5-man Ravage. My God, thought Soxa had won them the fight for sure there.
But Terrorblade at the end of the day is still a hero that outputs so much of damage. Looking at the replay here, they get the jump onto Resolution, but immediately LC cancels the initiation. Rubik steals the Ravage right here.
And it was mid-anchor smash cast too. He literally hit all 5 with that. And they still lose the fight.
They couldn't kill the Terrorblade. And Luna did not get his Eclipse off because he just got destroyed by the way by the Terrorblade.
What a massive fight for Faceless. Just when you start to count them out.
Very good jump there by Faceless. They coordinated it really well. They initiated with the DK, he stuns a target, forces the LC to come in to save the Luna, and Tide got a fantastic Ravage, despite still getting stolen by the Rubik, but still it was a great first move there by Faceless. Very well done.
All of a sudden, Ice Ice Ice, some nice gold in the bank for him.
He's going Refresher right away, I think. It's gonna be very important, like I mentioned. If the game goes late, the Tide has to get to the point where he has the Refresher.
Yeah, you can even just commit one to make sure you kill the Rubik and then still have another for the rest of the team, so perhaps a way to deal with that spell steal as well. But DC, they know the Ravage is on cooldown now.
Yep.
And they're going to move right back in down the middle lane. They feel like they have the power play here. Moving with a big, deep dive onto XY. will cut out his heart. Shadow Demon brought down.
Rubik did not get disrupted
And
otherwise.
suddenly, after a great fight, Faceless by DC, not just knocking, but banging on the front door, aggressively charging in. Ice forced to jump in with an anchor smash. He is very tanky, and he does what he can to slow this push down, but the glaives, they continue to bounce, ramping up the damage, forcing nuts back. Even a Zoni Meteor gets popped down, and with that, suddenly, Faceless get racked just like that. Decisive movements from Digital Chaos, and no reply. Faceless, minus their Shadow Demon, and more importantly, Winter, minus their Ravage, have no response.
That was such a world-class play there by DC. That decision-making, understanding they had like 20 seconds to 30 seconds to actually get the racks when Tide plus Metamorphosis was still on cooldown. So just very, very good decision-making by DC that allowed them to secure that racks.
And not having the Shadow Demon actually quite a big deal. Is they can't disrupt the Luna to slow the push down. They don't get those extra illusions to stall.
That's very important. Like the game that we saw yesterday on the who was it on the SD kept getting disrupt on the Luna. And it actually meant so much in the team fights.
So great pick there by Moon to find him early, and does go to show you that even though XY might be a poor lad, he's a very important one for Faceless.
They popped a scan. They were anticipating.
Oh, and Roche is about to respawn.
They're expecting FL to try and get something in return. Sunstrike to scout things out.
A little bit early. Roche not coming up for 10 seconds.
They do have their power spike now after getting the BKB on resolution, so he's not going to be an easy target anymore.
Definitely not. They have decent physical damage, I suppose, from Black, but Luna has great armor as well. 19 just on her own. And that's not even counting the mech.
The thing is, Black does not have a BKB, so I think if Invoker, at some point you want to consider getting a BKB, so you run in the fight, you don't have to worry about Ravage, and you can drop your spells on top of the Terrorblade to kill him. This Terrorblade does not have a BKB yet. He's going for a Skadi most likely next. So that's going to give a good amount of timing window for the Invoker before the Terrorblade starts to think about getting a BKB.
And it does make you wonder, Winter, like, will Faceless be able to deal with DC late? Because the Terrorblade illusions, you've got to worry about the Invoker. You also have the Luna Glaives, great for clearing them. We've already seen that Legion's overwhelming odds is quite effective, at least at somewhat chipping away. Then you've got the Fate Bolt, whatever Rubik steals, like, you're not just going to have this easy illusion spam to rely on to auto-win you the game.
That is true, but at the same time, I feel like they have two other really, really good tools. The Refresher on Tide, and you want to have Dagger on the Shadow Demon, so you can get the Disrupt on the Luna. Those are the... Oh, they use 2 smoke there. That is not great for Faceless. They are going to waste 1 smoke in the mid to late game scenario. They're going to try to get a first move here.
Could be big, but Saksa also smoked up. He's got a blink now as well, so Ice is going to be very tough to get off a perfect Ravage. Jabs will be revealed. He still marches forward, blink, and a stun, and he's going to find the enemy Rubik off the bat, but Saksa kept alive and now turned upon. There's the BKB. Eclipse coming in hot and heavy from resolution. They bring Ice low. Can they finish the job? The Glaives continue to bounce, and Misery jams it home. Will find the kill, but he gets turned on his turn. As Black moves forward, directly on top of the meatball, though. They're going to look to duel, and Moomiander can't even get it off. Blade Mail's there. Doesn't even need the duel to get the kill. And with that, it's going to be 3 down, a buyback on the Tide, but no tower to TP to, no team to join.
This is not good.
Winter, there is no Metamorphosis even online now, which is basically an ultimate for Faceless at this stage.
Well, DC might have enough time to secure the Roshan and go for the push as well. This is really, really difficult for Faceless right now without the Metamorphosis, and they have to deal with the Aegis on the Luna. They're gonna need a Miracle Ravage on Ice's here to be able to hold.
And the thing is, for DC, they don't even really have to commit that much. They can just chip away with the Forge Spirits. The Luna can be out in front, but she's got Aegis and BKB. And then Weehaw doesn't need to jump in.
They have 2 BKBs now. This is gonna be so difficult. They somehow need to find a Blink Ravage or a Blink Stun by the DK on the Invoker or the Luna before they get their BKBs off. But then again,
and you have to hit the Rubik so he doesn't steal it. Or at the very least, he's got to be locked down in some other fashion.
When there's a lot of ifs, it's gonna be difficult. Something might go wrong in the team fights if everything has to be.
And then while you're busy waiting, trying to find the perfect Ravage, they just jump in and kill somebody instantly with a duel, a Sunstrike. We've seen the Eclipse damage.
They have the Sandbag and the Disrupt to save the dual target. I'll give that for Faceless. So a dual target might still be able to get out of harm's way with the supports behind it.
A lot of pressure though on Faceless. DC with more tools to initiate. more get out of jail free cards.
They can't afford to lose another team fight. I think the Terrorblade might have to consider completing a BKB before going for the Skadi right now. Because last fight he just basically got destroyed by all the spells. He got.
I mean, Invoker can basically solo him.
Yeah,
at this
he
point.
needs to get a BKB, and Weeha setting up in bottom lane. Jabs does not have a BKB here, so he might want to stay back and cancel Jabs TP while his team forces the push at top and beauty himself into the top lane. This might be Weeha's play right here. This could be big.
Could just win them the game if they don't have the Dragonite Tornado come through. And now he's going to go for the TP out. Jabs probably trying to hunt him in the trees. No, he just starts walking back, but it's already too late. Weeha up to the top lane. A master stroke from Digital Chaos as they surge onto their second lane of frags. So with this, could be up to the 1-0 advantage. Where's the team fight? It's already looking like the full lane will go down uncontested. The plays from the Invoker. It's the hero that he rose to fame on even before the Meepo.
Oh my god,
he delivers once again.
That was such an amazing play. That's such an amazing read by Weeha. Just what a player.
And knows the Dragonite can't even chase him to try and cancel his own TP as the blink is put on cooldown there. Just really no counterplay available for Faceless whatsoever.
Okay, look at their buybacks. The next fight, they're gonna need some buybacks for the next defense. Terrorblade has buyback. Dragonite has buyback. So those are the two cores having the buybacks. Faceless are gonna be needing everything they can get from their arsenal right now. They might be able to finish a BKB on Black if he wants to. He's pretty close to that.
At the same time, Winter, you're looking at Resolution very close to a butterfly on the Luna. So now you basically have to disrupt him to have your own army.
Well, how are you gonna do? Okay, he has a Glimmer Cape, so he's gonna be able to Glimmer. Do they have a gem?
Glimmer in to get the disrupt.
Yeah, why not? That's gonna be a crucial part of your damage in the team fights. Do they have a gem on DC? DC does not have a gem or Sentry. So this might work out for Faceless if they get a disrupt illusions on Luna.
They're gonna show Resolution bottom. I doubt he's gonna push too hard. He has fought the quarterstaff.
Just watch the Shadow Demon. XY might be the hero for Faceless in this fight.
See Resolution jumping in with the alacrity, just gets to work for now. And now
he's going in for it. He's going for
attack speed. XY will Glimmer in for the disruption, but he doesn't have the butterfly just yet. He's even going to be purged as they try to slow this push down. Resolution will back away.
All right,
and now you're 250 gold away from your butterfly. But they're not even waiting.
Yeah, but the thing is they see the Glimmer now, so they're going to be much more prepared.
They continue to heal Resolution up, pumping damage. Now the tier 3 falls, then 3 down. XY just getting chewed apart by the Glaives in the duel. Boone was ready, shuts them down, and they chase forward. Ravage comes through, gets off the anchor smash. This time won't be stolen, but don't know if it matters anymore. Winter, ice, getting blown apart with the BKBs. Resolution standing strong. Black does have the Sunder here, but he won't. Oh, he's gonna drop anyway. Won't be able to get it off. There's the GG. Digital Chaos outmaneuvering Faceless every step of the way, just outplay after outplay. Whether it was the TP cancel, whether it was great tower denies early on, excellent performance from top to bottom, and they will take game 1.
Yeah, once again, world-class performance here by DC. Very good decision making, and the lanes went really well for them. And it came down to the point where the Chen pickup just didn't, get his job done in the laning phase. They just lost too much control on the laning phase. Black didn't get his pre-farm.